everyone, this is the Mad Salvi letting you know that unless things are proven with Twitter posts and stuff like that and have actual proof behind it, treat everything in this thing as a theory. I will try to mark certain things as news and theory and everything like that to kind of let you guys understand, but also, you know, use a critical mind. And I hope you do enjoy. A bit of an update on everything else that I had put out about the lawsuit that's happening from Hololive on the part of Amane Kanata. They got a cease and desist, which is basically a strongly worded letter saying you don't do this, you're going to get sued. And we have our lawyers ready, and we have everything ready. So let's see what this one has. This one has some extra information that I didn't have before in regards to the Amane Kanata situation. It says JP broke after round with Hololive and ends up getting cease and desist by Amane Kanata's lawyers for defamation and forced to pay a sum of 1 million yen, which I covered before. Otherwise, they might get sued for the derogatory comments and ASCII art on JP gossip sites. That is the stuff that I covered before. Now, new information that we get here. User made the post titled, "Do you like or hate Kanata Amane?" Which is, you know, is Kanata from Hololive. Is 4th generation, I believe. This is something I didn't have before. To which the user mocked and insulted her. The lawyer subpoenaed the website's operator and got the user's IP, to which they identified the user and sent them the notice with a deadline on August 19th. I did not see the deadline on August 19th. I made a mistake on the last one that I didn't see that. This is basically corrections and updates on the whole situation. Interesting because from what I read, it seems to be your typical anonymous site hate, and JP Twitter has many thoughts on this matter. Some finding the legal notice to be humorous because of the ASCII art and a 1 million fine, and others thinking it's real sad and overreaction. People are responding to it. I want to see the responses to it. Honestly, understand going after people who dox or go to talents constantly or to harass them, but I don't see why go for a random. Maybe to set an example. I think they're just going really aggressive right now. That's really what they're trying to do. They're trying to hit aggressively at anybody, but it is like just seeing the little bit more information that we have here. It is a little too wild, a little too crazy. It's basically he decided to do this during a time when they are extremely aggressive on this. You might say this is an overreach of the government oversight, but over here, you can be charged as a foreigner for harassing, stalking someone who lives in my country. My advice, be nice, people. And apparently over here is some more information, some more legal information, which is what I like putting out there for you guys. For Harassment Act 5 in Singapore. In places like Singapore, even as a a foreigner, you can be Asian countries take this very seriously. This is what I mean. Yes, this is Southeast Asia, this is Singapore, but I'm pretty sure in Japan with Johnny Somali recently, those same things have been popping up, where as a foreigner, you can pretty much still get put in jail. You can still get basically kicked out of the country and banned from being in the country for doing these types of things, for harassing and mistreating and doing all these things for to anybody who is a citizen here. That's some of the update that I wanted you guys to have. That's some of the new information I wanted you guys to have. This one ain't it. Kanata's great, but it sets a horrendous precedent for people to be able to sue another for sharing an opinion about them in a third-party forum. Yeah, it's weird, but remember, in Asian countries, it's not quite the same as it is in the West. They have a lot more of an honor system, especially Japan, about the personal honor, the personal mistreatment of others, and, you know, making the larger society kind of suffer for it. They have harsher restrictions on that kind of stuff. Now, to see what these people are saying here, sounds like a case of don't poke the bear. Cover Corp said they would go hard against defamatory stuff and harassment against their talent for like 2 years now. I don't know how long this has been going on or if Cover Corp sent warnings privately, but hey, it seems like they're following through on their statements. There's $1 million yen, so less than 7K. Still a substantial sum for a normal person. If that happened to me, it'd be overly holy crap, you know? Still pretty hefty slap for any chuckle F who thinks this S is funny. The ASCII art in question was one of user urinating on a gravestone with Kanata's name on it. Don't really have a stance if it's an overreaction or not, since I don't know if he's a repeat offender. May have been a repeat offender. May have been something that they've had before. Gave him many warnings, and then we don't know. We don't know if he's gotten warnings before, and this is like we've caught you many times, and this is your what's going to happen this time. People are getting too comfortable being a-holes online. Costs nothing to be kind, and funny enough, it could cost them millions to be a D-bag. Sending all the love to Kanata and everything like that. So I think that's what they're doing. I think they're just making an example of this person, being really aggressive with the examples that they're making of this person, which it makes sense to a certain extent. If you all remember correctly, Hexjuice is a person, Hex, who ended up saying a lot of false things about Taiga, like saying that they were banned because of ban evasion, they were banned because of, you know, other content, other things like that. They had a lot of things that were incorrect, They made a lot of assumptions about them like lying to get pity money in GoFundMes and that type of thing, when we know now that the GoFundMe is run by a moderator, so it's not even directly run by Taiga. It's someone that Taiga trusts, and hopefully we'll be able to get the money to Taiga when the time comes. But what we have here is their apology. I've heard it's being a half apology, but let's read it. I'd like to apologize to Taiga for getting information wrong, not getting things verified before spreading them, and not speaking to him directly before making a post. Taiga was banned for 3 strikes on his YouTube channel. The reason provided for such was breaking guidelines regarding nudity and sexuality. A second channel was banned for ban evasion, according to 2 posts from Taiga. Taiga believes that these strikes were unfair and TOS was not broken. It is not my place to determine whether that is true, and realistically, my determination on those events is meaningless and unwarranted. My theories around the report system were based on my own experience with it, but experience does not necessarily have bearing on Taiga's situation. So this is actually an okay one so far. Apologize for assumptions made, and I regret my decision to jump the gun without verifying facts. While my intention was not to spread misinformation, I did that anyways, and I regret that. As for the responses on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, I'll admit that I was upset and responded out of defensiveness, fear, and stupidity. When I saw Taiga tweeting at me, I panicked, especially because I missed messages for several minutes and was being accused of ignoring the issue. My response sucked ass, and I don't have any excuse for that. As for reaching out to Taiga, I sent him a friend request on Discord while my Twitter was locked last night. I canceled it when I saw he had joined a podcast about the situation because at the time, I felt there wasn't an effort to hear me out before speaking on me, despite my apology post on YouTube. However, I recognize that it's pretty childish. I'm not owed being heard out when I don't do it for Taiga. Also, that apology was pretty ass. Basically, it was bad. If he would have liked to spread that speak to me after all this, I'm happy to have a dialogue, explain myself in more detail, and hear how I've affected Taiga directly, and obviously apologize. In the end, I'm sorry. Not for my mistakes in reporting and assumptions, but also not only for mistakes, but also for my immature response to criticism. I'll be better in the future. Also, I've removed all videos and posts regarding Taiga, leave them up only to serve as a potential continuing spread of misinformation, which is not what I want. So they privated their stuff, they changed their tune because of the fact they got hit with so much backlash. That is what ended up happening. I have left one up about Nux's apology, mostly because I stand by the fact that Nux is an a-hole and the situation that got handled like S, but I'm happy to take down that if there's any issues in the future. In the future, please actually spend more time to research, actually reach out to all those involved. This is not journalism, this was a hit piece attempt. My intention was not a hit piece, but to ask questions. Admittedly, I did a horrible job of that, especially when I got things wrong, so my intent doesn't matter. I'm not actually a Taiga hater. Though I know that sounds absurd at this point. I made many mistakes. And the response to that one was, whether it was intentional or not, it ended up becoming an actual issue. And I agree with that. Post video and double down on a stream of him committing fraud, sends him a friend request out of all things on Discord, cancels it when he gets interviewed by someone else. Yeah, don't quit your day job. I have to send a friend request on Discord because of my settings. I can't send DMs in any other way because I don't allow DMs from anyone I'm not friends with. That wasn't due to laziness or whatever you're implying. I literally had no other option. So they're explaining that whole point there. Defamation didn't have to be an option. You chose that in your videos. Of course, people are just like, yeah, you should have not done what you did first. And that's why I try to check all my sources. I get some things wrong and I do make corrections, but I try to check, especially when I'm saying something about someone else personally and about something as serious as the Taiga situation. I hold myself accountable. My community holds me accountable, and they should hold themselves accountable. They made this apology, but remember, the only one who can accept the apology is Taiga. The only one who can actually say whether it's accepted or not is Taiga. The community is not going to like you, and that's something you're going to have to get used to. Today we move on to Quinn, which is a person who used to be Kyo from Nijisanji. Of course, he left. He graduated. He made sure to graduate, and he is doing pretty well for himself right now. He apparently met up with a ex-Niji, like he's an ex-Niji liver who met up with a Niji person. Again, missed a chance to post Crow League. One extra bit is Quinn mentioning that the last time he went to Japan, presumably for something related to Niji, they only covered a third of his flight and he had to pay for the rest. Man, every time you think it could be bad, it just gets worse.
Yo, you're never gonna believe this, guys, peep game. I met up with this Crow guy. I ain't gonna say no name.
Vantacrow, most likely Vantacrow.
But all I'm saying is I met up with this Crow guy. But yeah, I went to Shoto's birthday party. It was a good time. I saw a bunch of people there. I saw like a ton of VTubers. I saw, who else did I see? Oh, I saw like Lando, Connor, Numi. Oh, I saw Matara. Everyone was there, bro. Literally, I saw like my LA homies like Jorg. Daph wasn't there, but I hung out with Daph like the next day. Oh my God, you wanna know who I met up with? Yo, you're never gonna believe this shit, guys, peep game. I met up with this crow guy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say no name, not gonna point any elbows or nothing. Okay.
But you did say crow, so everyone already knows. I met up
with this crow guy. He was at the party. He DM'd me. Listen, what happened was, it's like there was an Evite list, okay? I was on the Evite.
Yeah, he's still friends with 39 Daft, the person who, well, we all know is not the best. It's not bringing her best.
List, like, you know, because I'm that guy for, no, but you know, because I was going. And then I get a DM from this random Discord account that I forgot I had added. And it's like, are you going to this party? And I was like, in my mind, I thought this was one of my editors DMing me at first. So I was like, because Discord glitched and showed the wrong profile picture. So I was like, who the f is this? Like, who is asked? Like, I was like, all my editors live in the Philippines. Okay. So I was like, oh, aren't you in the Philippines? Like, what do you mean? And then I refreshed my Discord and then it was a different profile picture. And then I remember, oh yeah, I have this person added on their like private account. And then I was like, what party are you talking about? And they're like, it's a birthday party. And I was like, why are you being so inconspicuous? It's like, if you saw me on the invite list, then just say what party it is. Like, clearly I'm allowed to be there. So I was like, you mean Shoto's party? Because I didn't see him on the invite list, but also I didn't know what name would be on the invite list for him. And he was like, yeah, that one. And I was like, oh, I didn't know y'all knew each other. Because I've never seen them interact like as, you know, the Crow Man and Shoto before. But I guess like back in the day, they used to play games together and shit. And I was like, oh, that's lit. So I was like, oh my God, he was one of the people I really wanted to meet when everyone went to Japan, but I'm poor. So I was staying home and not paying for a trip to Japan, bitch. I already did that once. That shit was expensive. I'm not doing that again unless I get my flights covered, okay? And last time I only got like 1/3 of my flight covered anyways. So it's like, real no. So I was excited.
Ooh, he just threw some shade at nijisanji. He said last time I went to Japan, which was presumably for nijisanji stuff, he got 1/3 of his flight covered. That's not the way it works in business usually. Every single time I've had to fly for business, no matter what it was covered by the company. If I ever had to pay it, then, you know, it was immediately covered, like right when I got back. But rarely, I think I never actually, in any kind of business flight, any kind of corporate flight, did I ever have to cover it myself. The only times I had to cover something is that if I wanted an upgrade, which I've done many times from like regular class to Comfort Plus, you know, those seats that have a little bit more space but aren't quite first class. I've upgraded to those for like 20-30 bucks before. But beyond that, everything else is covered. Nijisanji is being everything else is covered. Nijisanji is being a very stingy thing. It is very, very stingy for them to be able to do this and to be doing this kind of stuff for Quinn and such. It is just like, it's crazy. I'm pretty sure everyone else had that.
And I got to meet him. Yo, he was like, low-key, he was kind of what I expected. I'm not gonna lie. And you know how he is when he gets a little drunk or a little tipsy, he gets all like all flustered and cutesy and shit. He was the exact same, bro. It was crazy. It was crazy. I was poking fun at him and shit. Yeah, it was funny because he knew no one at this party. Like literally no one except me, Shoto, and I think like Connor and Lando, which I didn't know he knew, but like at least they have like some common interest, right? He gets there. Listen, here's the thing about LA parties, okay? Not to spill the tea, but everyone shows up late, okay? No one shows up to them on time.
All right, so that part is normal, yes. And that is all that we need to really know about this whole situation. One, that he met with Vantacrow, which is fine. You know, him meeting with Vantacrow is never an issue, at least not on my end. And two, that nijisanji only pays for 1/3 of the flight, and that's really, really weird. Not even, we will compensate you for the rest of the flight at a later point. They just only pay for 1/3 of the flight, period. That's not good. That is not a business thing. Like I said, I've been in business class. I've been flying for business for many years, and that's never, ever, ever happened at all, period. People already by now know what's going on with Kizuna AI. The fact that, you know, one of the past voice actresses, I think it's Kasuga Nozomi actually, was the one who said that they were going to be taking a break, said that things were going to be relaxing for a bit. They were going to go more in an advisory role, more of kind of like a contractor role type of thing. She posted this on her actual Twitter here. She is, this is the Japanese version of it. She went with Kaiyu, which is K-A-I-Y-O-U. It is the publication that did it. And of course, I got the translated version for you in order to make all of this stuff easier for y'all. Because, you know, I can't read Japanese. Y'all can't read Japanese. At least I don't think you can. If you can, then wonderful for you, but I can't. Let's go. It says, Nozomi Kasuga reveals the true meaning behind the resignation as an advisor and the current state of the word VTuber as Kizuna AI restarts. If you remember recently, they did the Kizuna AI company, whatever the heck you want to call it, update. They recently did a weird kind of like revival, like she's asleep and going to be waking up soon type of thing on her the Kizuna AI channel. They did that a lot, and they are basically, you know, trying to revive the whole thing. Considering virtual YouTubers, VTubers, Kizuna AI from her perspective. The first question, what was Kizuna AI? There were times when I thought about quitting being involved. Kazuga Nozomi talks for the first time in the origin of the group. Second session is Nozomi Kazuga reveals the true meaning behind her resignation as an advisor. So yeah, they're going here. How she became a voice actress, restart from sleep. Kasuga says, I wrote a little about this on social media as well, but when Ai-chan went to sleep mode, I had planned to stop being involved with her. At the time of the spin-off, I also said I would like to only be involved as Ai-chan goes to sleep, until Ai-chan goes to sleep. When they went to sleep, I told the project manager that I wanted to quit around March. However, when February came around, they said, I want you to stay after March. Of course, it's the people who are currently involved who are moving this project forward while Ai-chan is asleep. In that case, the only member who has been there since the beginning is Activate CEO Takashi Osaka. Basically, other people had left. Osaka-san is the president of Kizuna AI Inc., and I think people from the back then still indirectly involved, but it seems that no one knew what to do while Ai-chan was sleeping, and there was a lot of anxiety. We do things in accordance with Ai-chan's will and goals. There's no one to lead the group, everyone will be in trouble. I've been involved with Ai-chan for a long time, so I'm very sensitive to her and her fans. I'm quite forthright in saying things like, if you want to do this, I think this is the way to go. I think there were some areas where I was lacking, but I think that was the part that gave everyone a sense of security. So that's what they wanted. What exactly did you do to help? When staff member wanted to do something, would give them advice. So she was more like an advisor in many roles like that. And of course, in order to get more, you have to register for a free trial. But the main thing that she's saying here is because she's not in charge of her any decision-making authority, she felt frustrated at many times because she wasn't able to do everything that she felt would be good for I and would be good for the organization. But she's not in the upper echelon. She's just a peon according to what other people are. And she just is an advisor, so she doesn't get the full final say. After many discussions on how to be involved for nearly a year, I decided to bring it to a close and resign as an advisor. So she got frustrated. So yeah, that makes sense. She herself, which she's the one who did Kizuna AI's voice, she herself got frustrated with as a lot of people have, with direction of way things are going and with not being able to do anything with the direction of the way things are going. And that is something that, of course, has been seen and can be seen many times over. One of the reasons why Minato Aqua is leaving is at least rumored to be because of the restrictions, because she told Suise, if I'm not mistaken, that there were a lot of restrictions, there were a lot of things that, you know, the path that she wanted to take was a little bit different than what Hololive was allowing her to take, type of thing. It happens when you're part of a large monolithic organization, whether it be Japanese or American or Western in any way. You have a lot of bureaucracy that prevents you from doing what you feel is best for the character that you created, that you kind of, you know, saw from the beginning. She was there from birth, pretty much. She saw it from the beginning. You want it to change a certain way. It can't be because the people up top don't want it to be. And that is unfortunate for her, Aqua, and any others who are facing that type of struggle. And I can fully understand, seeing all this happen, the reason why she decided to leave. I have covered before. We have NOA Talent, which was one that Sayu wanted to join before, and they ended up not joining because they saw some red flags, they saw some things that needed to get fixed before they joined. They mentioned it themselves. Mythic, however, and Hololive both have not joined them, but used their services to help their talents be in China specifically. What is their services? It basically is a place for VTubers, Metishon, which is their parent company of NOA. NOA is like a multi-channel network. If you remember those from back in the day, it's basically a network that you can join, and it will give you help with your monetization and other things in a specific market. Back in the YouTube days, the old school YouTube days when it first started, pretty much the only way you could get monetized was being part of a multi-channel network, but they were kind of scams back in the day. This one is basically, it has a domestic fan base of 36 million. On technology front, Metishon developed PassXPass, which is basically like a VTube studio thing. Self-developed tool, uses mobile devices as a primary medium and allows the creation of personalized virtual avatars. Yeah, kind of like a VTube Studio thing. How did NOA and Mythic partnership happen? Actively facilitating Mythic's genuine entry into the Chinese market by fostering deeper collaborations with major domestic companies. Like I said, what it's doing is it is going through and making it easier to deal with the regulatory stuff, the cultural stuff, operational barriers. Like in China, once you're a certain size, you have to register your face and your name, your actual face and your name, to be on a government website that anybody can search and find out who you are, which is weird. It's like a doxing. It's like an official doxing thing once you're a certain size, if I'm not mistaken. How does this deal work? Leveraging our extensive network to significantly enhance the market influence in China. The collaboration includes, but is not limited to, sponsorship deals, live streaming, partnerships, and merchandise collaborations. So yeah, what led Mythic to tap it? Decision to tap the Chinese market. It was based on audience behavior since 2021. Mythic Talent's VTubers have seen their Chinese fan base grow rapidly and organically. So they want to be able to reach their fans in their native platforms like Bilibili instead of having to go on YouTube, because usually to go to YouTube, they have to go to a VPN and that, or even Twitch. They have to use VPNs and that type of stuff. So this is a way for them to reach it without them actually going and doing things. You know what I mean? And that is the reason why people do this. That is the reason why people go through everything and do these types of things, because it is a lot to do this. It is a lot to do this. It takes a lot of money. It takes an actual, I think in China you actually have to have something in China. That you have to have actually something in there in order to actually have, you know, a Chinese presence. You actually have to have a business in there with Chinese nationals being a part of it and all that kind of stuff. So that's why Mythic is doing it primarily. We have a VTuber, Ebi Vtuber, who is going to be taking a bit of a hiatus. She's going to be taking a bit of a break. She says here, "Now, old shrimp pies, I wanted to let you know that I'll be going on a hiatus. I'm sorry if my August streams haven't been up to par. I've been feeling off lately. My chronic illness has been flaring up," which of course chronic illnesses do that, "and I haven't talked about it much, but I suffer from cluster migraines." Oof. Oh yeah, that'll destroy you. Anything headache, migraine, that type of stuff is a big oof. On top of that, I've recently herniated my disc. Oh, I have a herniated disc. That is a continuous pain that does not leave. It never leaves, making my movement incredibly painful. For now, I'll be confined to bed rest, but I'll stay working behind the scenes on my edits, my 2.0 new outfit debut, and more. You can still support me on Patreon and Throne, and I'll be hanging out in the Discord as much as I can. It breaks my heart to step away, even for a bit, but I know I can't be my best self like this, which is good. Take care of yourself, especially in those type of health situations. It's always best to take care of yourself. Hopefully it won't be out of commission for too long. I'm really sorry. I appreciate all your understanding and support. This appears to have been on their Discord. I was asked for more clarification of what I'm dealing with. So, cluster migraines cause excruciating one-sided headaches behind the eye and can occur in cyclical patterns. Only way I can describe it is like someone trying to dig out your eye with a hot spoon. Yes, I've heard about that. I've dealt with these most of my life, but now with a slip disc, my lower back has sharp, persistent pain that radiates through the lower back, hips, and right leg, making movement daily activities extremely painful and challenging. Nerve pain is no joke. I've been humbled. Navigating two intense, debilitating conditions simultaneously was not something I had on the 2024 bingo card. Of course. Man, I'm so sorry to hear that. Ebi, I've been disabled for the past 9 years now, and because of herniated disc due to workplace accident. I know your pain quite literally, and I really hope you find a permanent solution. Me too. I had a herniated disc, not heavily herniated like probably hers is, but I've had a herniated disc for ages now because of an auto accident. I was rear-ended, and it is a debilitating pain. I have medicine to deal with it. I have a lot of medicine that makes me loopy sometimes, and that makes me kind of like airheaded sometimes, but I deal with that pain on an everyday basis, and that is something that I do not wish on anybody. I hope that she does get better very, very soon. Welcome back, everybody, to the VTuber Showcase, a place where I like to give back to the community who has given so much to me, who has given me so much love and acceptance and everything. I want to give it back to the community and give VTubers a chance to grow. So here we have Junibunnyyy, the Junibunnyyy VTuber. They are Junie, June, Bun, whatever you want to call it, just don't call me late for dinner. I'm just your local centipede bunny ADHD VTuber. Ah, birds of a feather. Obsessed with bones and anime men. Not of a feather, because I'm not interested in anime men. But yeah, just, I love their design. Their design is really cute. let's take a look at what they've done with Dress to Impress.
Pigeon, get over here.
Pigeon. Summon her with pigeon calls. Coo, 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 coo. I'm
What's
just
up?
there's, look out the window.
The stalker.
Yeah, I know. I saw her earlier.
You know you've made it big.
Terrified.
You know you've made it big when you have a stalker even in Roblox. You know you made it big then. Just kidding. Let's take a look at their about section. I'm your local ADHD scuffed cryptid EN VTuber with a knack for horror games and tier lists. I promise I won't eat your bones. I also don't curse. High energy and absolutely insane, literally, so people prepare yourself accordingly. I don't curse, but feel free to in the chat. So she doesn't curse. They don't curse. But it is okay for you to curse if you want to. They don't want to restrict you from doing, just being yourself, just like they're themselves in their streams. And again, here is their YouTube channel, and here is the, I like showing every single channel that they have if I can possibly find it. And I thank you so much, Bunny Junie, for being a part of this VTuber showcase, and I do hope that this helps you along in your journey in a positive way. Thank you so much for watching. That is all the news that we have for today. Please let me know down below if you want to know any more news or if you have any comments regarding anything that you saw here, which I will try my best to respond to. I love seeing your comments down below. Of course, as well, like and subscribe to the channel. That will give you more information every single day. I do 2 videos a day, so hopefully you enjoy.